Welcome. It's the Matic. It's the illest blood in the land. Welcome back, Legends community. It is Matic 365, or you can call me Matic. The choice is yours. Today, I am back with a new video, and today's new video, honestly, is on the album that came out last Friday that I don't hear anybody talking much about. And what is Matic talking about? The Carter 6 by Lil Wayne. I am going to give you my music take on this and things that I took from it and things I would have liked to see on this album. So the first thing that I want to get into is pretty much me listening to the album. Of course, it's Lil Wayne. I'm looking for punchlines. I'm looking for metaphors. That is there within the album when it comes down to it. I was like, you know what? This is what I expected from Wayne. We got to have this type of Wayne. On top of that, with Carter 6, there was like different eras of Wayne in one album. This reminded me a little bit, not a lot, of Life of Pablo by Kanye West. It was like giving Life of Pablo vibes. Like we had these different versions of Kanye on one album, and this is the exact same thing I felt like with Wayne. It was like, okay, we got this particular type of Wayne, we got this type of Wayne, you know, alternative Wayne, guitar Wayne, you got, you know what I'm saying, Carter 3 Wayne to some degree, that was there, even Carter 2 Wayne, so maybe that kind of worked to some degree, but not as much as I thought it would have. But it is actually within the album. Now, the other thing that I felt like was a problem with this album, with me listening to it, it felt more like a freaking mixtape, all right? I'm not going to lie to you guys, even the way they promoted it on social media, I was like, this feels more like a mixtape than it does an album. And you know what? I don't know if the label was like, well, Wayne, it's been 5 years. You haven't put out any music, but we need some music from you, buddy. Like, we know you're making this YouTube money right now, but we need music from you. And maybe Wayne already had music put out, but it was originally supposed to have been a mixtape, because there is a single out that he did with Mannie Fresh that is on the Carter 6 that was saying before the Carter that I actually saw online. I was like, oh, so we're getting a prequel album before the official album. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But you didn't see before the Carter 6. There was no like, hey, before the Carter 6 mixtape. Because I believe the Carter 6, before the Carter 6 mixtape was originally, this is the album that we're seeing now. Experimental Wayne, some soulful tracks with Wayne, and honestly, even some of the tracks were on here were odd choices. Now, the odd standout for me, and I have to say it, there are a couple. I'm not going to name all of them because it'll be such a long video. The first one is Loki's Theme, which is a response to Kendrick Lamar's GNS track, Whacked Out Murals. Honestly, I felt like that could have been a Lucy. And what do I mean by Lucy? Like, he could have just threw that out as a single on Amazon, Apple, Spotify. That's just my honest take on it. I was like, okay, I get you responded to Kendrick on this. You squash your differences with Kendrick Lamar. But Wayne, this is aged, right? This is aged. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to it. GNX, you know what I'm saying, came out last year. This is definitely an age track. You went in the booth and probably recorded this after you responded to what Kendrick said on his debut album, which has been a really good album, by the way. And I'm like, this is aged. You should have scrapped this. This should have been, you could have just released this as a freaking single, man. I'm just saying. All right. You know, to me, you know what I'm saying, it's dope that he got back in the booth and responded, you know what I'm saying, but it aged. You know, it's like wine, it's like cheese, certain stuff ages. You know what I'm saying? The other track with he did with his son, that felt like he was trying to gain a younger audience. And then the oddball track, which I kind of felt like it was kind of cool, but then it's kind of weird at the same time. The track he did with Wyclef Jean and this opera singer. That's a guy. That was very unusual how he included them both on the song. Yeah, that definitely was interesting. Now, I want to talk about some things too. What I also saw with this album that was, I guess you could say he was trying to go that direction. It seemed like when you think about Lil Wayne, and I know a lot of people are like, ew, you tripping. But I would say when it came to Prime Wayne was Carter 3, Carter 5, the Carter 5, then the Carter 4. Don't get me wrong, Carter 1 and 2 were dope. I just wasn't fully invested in those albums as much as the Carter 3, Carter 5, and Carter 4 when it came down to it. And I feel like he was trying to reduplicate the magic, for that so it could be successful. And we have songs there that are kind of like hinting that maybe this is what he was trying to do. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? There are artists that make great sequel albums. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I look at artists like Nas. Nas has done a great job. Illmatic, Stillmatic, you know what I'm saying? He had the Magic 1, 2, and 3. He had the King's Disease. There's some artists that are able to craft better sequel albums, you know what I'm saying? And I think what Wayne is having a real problem with, because I don't even know if he has the same team that he originally had when it comes to making music, is there's a missing piece to the recipe there. It's like you're cooking chicken, you know what I'm saying? You're not putting enough seasoning on it, or maybe you're not adding enough things to the plate that you have to offer, like maybe some rice, side of greens, something, you know what I'm saying? And I am surprised by this. The other letdown with this, I feel like the feature rollout. Some of the features weren't even on the album. Some of the features weren't. And that's definitely odd to put out something as promo for an album that was originally supposed to be a mixtape. I'm still saying that till this day right now. I'm definitely giving that. But it also felt uninspired. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really see the excitement, meaning that it was going to be like this great build-up, like how a Carter 3 was. Because that's what Carter 3 was. It was an amazing musical journey, learning about different things throughout certain eras of Wayne's life. And like I said before, he's done that again with the Carter 5, and even so Carter 4 to some degree. But he doesn't really tap into subjects. I thought for sure he talked about the girl that he put out and her daughter on Mother's Day, like certain stuff like that. And maybe he's not that type of artist. You know what I'm saying? Like he has songs like that, like Tie My Hands with Robin Thicke. You know what I'm saying? The one song that was on Carter 3, Misunderstood. You know, certain tracks here and there. And like I said, some of the so-called album had filler. There was some stuff that people could like relate to, and it wasn't a really good combination. Like I would have loved to see Wayne do like a whole production by Mannie Fresh as a full Carter 6. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it. But overall, it was a rough listen. It was a rough listen. I haven't listened to the Deluxe, and I feel like it's not his best work. I mean, there are things on there that people will enjoy. There are things that people won't enjoy, but hey, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't done an album in 5 years. That's a long time, right? But it is the hardest working blood on YouTube, guys. You tell me in the comments, what is your honest music take on the Carter 6? It is the hardest working blogger on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing, also sharing, and also hit that bell if you want to be notified. And I'm out, legends.